Good evening and a very warm welcome to everyone. नमस्कार, आप सभी का स्वागत है। मेरा नाम तनवीर सिंह है और आज बहुत बढ़िया दिन है, बहुत बड़ा दिन है। Today is a wonderful day because today we are launching two new beautiful products in partnership with Cuckoo, our partner for My Home Appliances. And today's session is going to be in English and in Hindi. So we've got a very exciting next 45 minutes lined up for you. तो आप लोग हमारे साथ जुड़े रहें. And let me remind you that this complete presentation recording would be available to you on your registered email IDs at the end of the webinar. So stay tuned and let's look at the two wonderful, exciting products that we have today. But before we get to the products, आज हमारे साथ फिर से जुड़ रहे हैं हमारे खास मेहमान, our guest, Mr. Anurag Mohan from Cuckoo. Mr. Anurag Mohan is the General Manager, Sales and Marketing for Cuckoo, and he's been with Sales and Marketing for about 16 years. इनका बहुत जबरदस्त एक्सपीरियंस है, जैसे आप देख ही रहे हैं, यूरेका, फोर्ब्स, पैनासोनिक, वीडियोकॉन. तो इस कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल्स के लाइन में इनका बहुत फैंटास्टिक एक्सपीरियंस है अक्रॉस द बोर्ड. और हमारे इस पार्टनरशिप में हमारा साथ देने के लिए और हमें प्रोडक्ट के बारे में और विस्तार जानकारी देने के लिए I warmly welcome Mr. Anurag Mohan. Good evening, Mr. Mohan, and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Tanveer, and thank you so much for the introduction. And I was very excited to be part of today's session, and we look forward to have a great session ahead.
Thank you, sir. Before we get on to the the product itself, Mr. Anurag, can you take us through a little bit about Cuckoo Home Appliances and the history of Cuckoo, because a lot of our distributors who've joined us today would be really keen to understand that. Those of them who've not attended our previous sessions on the DSG. So tell us a little about the history of Cuckoo.
Absolutely, Mr. Tanveer. So let me just again reiterate that Cuckoo, you have the distributors and partners of QNet is having the backup of the best brand of the world. So Cuckoo, as mentioned in your slide, also is Korea's #1 brand, leading brand in home and living appliances, and the brand has a legacy of more than 4 decades, and the brand is serving across the globe. Started in 1978 as an OEM supplier to a lot of companies across the globe, like Philips, like LGs of the world. And so earlier the brand was the OEM supplier, and the brand Cuckoo was launched in 1998. And since then it's been quite a journey for the brand. The brand is also listed in Korean stock exchange, which is a very big thing to have. And the Indian subsidiary, the 100% subsidiary of Cuckoo, South Korea, is started in 2018. So last 3 years we have been operating in the market, and Indian journey has been quite phenomenal. We actually invested a lot in research to understand consumers, to understand what exactly the Indian consumer wants, and we developed product as per that. So this is about the brand Cuckoo and the journey so far.
Yes. Mr. Anurag, I was also saying that Cuckoo has got an incredible history, especially in terms of I can see right over here rice cooker. So tell us more about these products.
Yes. So Cuckoo, as I said, leading brand in home and living appliances, kitchen appliances. So to an extent that Cuckoo rice cooker is sold globally. Every 10 seconds a Cuckoo rice cooker is sold globally. Wow. We have more than 200 SKUs in-house manufactured, a very, very upmarket, very high-end product. Then Cuckoo has been the best sellers for rice cookers for 18 plus years globally. And also not only your rice cookers, but when I say rice cooker, it is also multi-cooker. You can cook anything in that. Plus water purifiers. Every minute a Cuckoo water purifier, healthy fire is sold across the globe. In Korea, in South Korea, if you see, Cuckoo has more than 70% market share, which is a big thing to have. And as mentioned earlier, we operate now. The number has gone up to 35. So we operate in more than 35 countries in the last 15 years. and has been a leading brand in a lot of other countries.
And I think what you're saying about the brand is substantiated by the awards and recognition that it's got. So can you briefly tell us about some of the awards and recognitions that you've got?
Yes. So if you look at the brand, the Cuckoo brand stands for the quality. It stands for the delivery for customers. It stands for customer service. And these awards basically, these recognitions, it emphasizes the brand, what brand has done over the years. So be it a product design, be it your consumer satisfaction, be it your national brand competitive index, the brand has been the top brand across the globe. It is, in fact, it is rated #1 brand by the Reader Digest also last 11 straight years. India also, we have got Green India Award for the technology, what we have done with probably what you are going to see in the coming slides. So, and plus there are various other awards and recognitions we have achieved. So this is purely because of the customer centric approach, service centric approach, and the quality of the product.
Excellent. I think that really, reinforces the fact that Cuckoo is such a phenomenal brand, and the fact that QNet has tied up with Cuckoo to give our distributors such phenomenal products. We already got the disinfectant solution generator, which I personally am using it, and in all our sessions I actually show the product because it's such a phenomenal product. But staying on with today's topic, uh, you know it's water, and everyone talks about water. It's something that we always feel it's, oh, water, it's such a normal thing to be talking about. But water is something that's so precious for us. And dear distributors, let me very briefly take you through what's the whole scenario behind water, and especially about drinking water. We all know the importance of water. If you can see the picture on the left, uh, our body is composed of 70% of water, the muscles, and then you are probably much more aware about these things. But if you come to the picture on the right, if you look at the distribution of water on Earth, uh, although the Earth has got huge amount of water, but out of that, the fresh water is only 2.5%, and then out of the fresh water, about 70% is in ice, in the shape of ice caps, and 30% is groundwater. So surface water is only 0.4%, which is in the shape of rivers, lakes, atmospheric or soil moisture, etc. So there is a lot of concern over here. Going ahead, considering that water is already in shortage, water pollution is huge and humongous, I can say. Look at the number of deaths. Only in India, 38 million. So like what, 1 million is 10 lakhs. So 38 million is like huge. Waterborne diseases, gastroenteritis, cholera, name it, And you can see the stats right there. 80% of India's surface water is polluted. The reports are there. Now, and also 100 million people live in areas with poor water quality supply. That's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. And if you look at some of the reasons, some of the causes of water pollution, industrial pollution, if you can see over here, runoff into the rivers, groundwater contamination, the industrial pollutants, they contaminate inside the ground, inside the leach into the soil, into the mud, and then could contaminate the groundwater. Also municipal sewage, a lot of municipal sewage even today is untreated, and it's discharged into our rivers, and that of course is a huge challenge. Your municipal pipes, they are rusted because some of them are like 50 years old, and iron pipes, so rusted, and it's not adding on to the it's certainly adding on to the problem. Also, if you look at the distribution system, the way municipal water actually reaches us, because it's not that every city has got proximity to clean drinking water. Sometimes there are water is like 50-60 kilometers away, or even more than that. So this pipeline, as you can see in the picture at the bottom, these pipelines that go through to get us water, they might actually be broken at places, and there is a lot of contamination. I'm sure we've read about this. And finally, our overhead tanks. We get water into our overhead tanks, and then it comes to us through the pipes. But overhead tanks, also the cleanliness, it's something that is much left to be desired. Now, in such a scenario, what happens is, the question that we need to be asking ourselves is the water that we drink, is the water that you drink, is it really safe? That's $1 million question. So at this stage, we need to ask ourselves, what can we do to make our water safe? And Anurag ji, if as we can see on the slide here, these are some of the common methods for water purification. So very briefly, Anurag ji, if you can just highlight to us the difference between what is conventionally being used, the common methods.
That's right. So quickly, very well explained, the pollution, the water pollution and all that. So if you come to the purifiers and the common methods which are used to purify waters currently, one is your gravity based filter, wherein you pour water from top, the water passes through two candles and you drink that. So there it takes care of basically the mud and other visible impurities, right? It takes care of, but it does not take care of your microorganisms. It does not take care of your pesticides. It does not take care of your heavy metals, your lead, arsenic, mercury, etc. So this is one method. Even if you boil the water, no, the impurity gets actually diluted in that water. So what happens is you cannot see that, but you end up drinking it. If you look at UF filters, and if you look at, we come to UV first. UV is very common nowadays. People use UV filter. So UV is nothing but a quartz glass, wherein you're with a UV light, wherein the water passes through it, and it kills your bacteria virus, right? But it does not take care of the heavy metals, which is very prominent in Indian water conditions, right? In our country, in our input water, it does not take care of your microbial contamination. Microbial contamination it does, but your heavy metals and all, it does not take care. Come to UF filters, the water will look clean, but it does not take care of, again, your pesticides, your herbicide. It does not take care of your heavy metals. So these are the very common methods to purify water at this point in time, and we need to have a solution for this.
So rightly said, Mr. Anurag, that the bottom line here is that some of these are affordable and probably even low maintenance. But then if they do not provide completely safe drinking water, then the purpose is not being met, the goal is not being met. Now we need to look at a tailor-made filtration method, and the good news is that we've got MyHomePlus water purifiers, which we'll talk about how the nanofiltration or the RO filtration is takes care of 99% bacteria, viruses, toxic heavy metals, and gives us mineral rich alkaline water. So we'll talk about that. So straight away, I think before we get on to the product, there's one more element that we need to talk about, Mr. Anurag, that is, and today I think this is something which a lot of them are talking about. This is acidic water and alkaline water. So if you look at the disadvantages of acidic water, so we will not get into a discussion. We will not discuss chemistry here. I think most of us are aware. हम सभी जानते हैं that acidic water is not good for us because it exposes us to heavy metals. It leaches minerals from our body, dehydrate करता हमारी body को. Of course, it damages our teeth. Especially young children are at risk. Calcium retention में गड़बड़ है, and gastrointestinal बीमारियों में it also is a problematic. Now, compared to that, alkaline water, if you look at the aspect of alkaline water, the advantages of alkaline water, it neutralizes the acid in blood, helps blood oxygen levels, body के metabolism and energy को improve करता है, antioxidant properties हैं. Antioxidants के बारे में we always talk about free radical damage because of pollution, smoking and other factors. उसमें भी ये antioxidant का काम करता है. It helps us, and it's anti-aging and anti-disease. So alkaline water. And the good thing is, Anuragji will talk in length about this later on, that the human blood has a pH of 7.35 to 7.45, and alkaline water gives us water very close to that. So, Anuragji,
Yes,
I think it's,
Mr.
yeah,
Tanvir, just to add on, alkaline
yes,
water is actually the future of water, and alkaline has numerous benefits. Alkaline water has numerous huge benefits. Yeah, alkaline water, for example, now even people, they spend lakhs of rupees to get alkaline water. In fact, and there are various solutions available in the market which is extremely expensive to get the alkaline water. So you are getting a something which is, of course, we'll talk about it in the coming slides, which will give you, of course, alkaline water along with other benefits. So this is actually a very well known also nowadays about alkaline and the benefits of alkaline water.
yes, Mr. Anurag, I think exactly like you said that, today everyone knows about alkaline water, but then we don't know where to get a source for good quality alkaline water. So the wait is over, I think. And so now we present to you Delight Alkaline Nano. So,
Yes.
Delight is going to leave us all delighted. And I really love the name of the product, Delight. तो हम कहते हैं ना कि वो डिलाइटफुल एक्सपीरियंस होगा आप सब लोगों का, हमारे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स का, बिकॉज दिस इज अ प्रोडक्ट which is gives you alkaline water, and it's got something which is a different kind of a technology. We will talk about that a little later. You can see some of the USPs mentioned here, but we will straight away move on to a few more aspects, and then I'll ask Mr. Anurag to talk in detail about these elements. Let's talk about wastage of water. ये देखिए, there's a beautiful slide which illustrates कि पानी कितना वेस्ट होता है, and to save ourselves from the wastage of water, we have a solution, and we have it today. The solution is right there with us, and it's there with us today. What more? Our regular ROs, they purify, they waste a lot of water. For every liter of pure water, they're wasting 3 liters or even more. And especially where TDS levels are less than 500, most likely ROs are not even required. Anuragji, can you throw a little more light on this?
Absolutely, and this is something which is very close to our heart. So, so what happens is, when you drink water, when you have input water at your place, right? Every home now needs a water purifier. When you have a supply water, you have water which is treated, you have input water which is probably a municipal water. You don't
Yes.
need an RO at all. You don't need an RO, and this is very important to understand, because RO, to get 1 liter of purified water, you waste 3 liters of water. So it is like huge. I mean, a lot of water gets wasted when you use an RO purifier. We provide a solution to you, which is a nano filter, wherein when the TDS of your place, when the input TDS, I will come to that, which is your total dissolved solids in water, which is less than 350, then you should use a nano purifier. A nano which takes care of your heavy metals, which takes care of your microorganisms, which takes care of other contaminants, which takes care of bad odor, everything. So this is a complete purifier without wasting any water. So wherever the place, for example, I'll give you example like say a city like Bombay, say a city like Calcutta, say half of probably 75% of Delhi NCR, probably half of Bangalore. You don't need an RO. You have a supply water. You need a solution which takes care of your heavy metals. You takes care of your microorganisms which are present in water. And there is nothing. This solution is absolutely wonderful to have for the homes where the input TDS is less than 350 and below, and it does not waste any water. So, so that's the biggest benefit of this, and it is a complete purifier.
Yes, I think that's such a valid point, and that's something that we when RO came into the market, I think a lot of us uh, thought that this is the solution, but the fact is, like you very rightly emphasize the point of the wastage of water, and also the fact that it may not be required. 500 TDS se niche, like you're saying, it may not be required, and you've even talked about the areas across the country where it may not be required. And going ahead, if we've got to think about zero wastage, we have to think about nano. So Anuragit, when we
Also,
say
just
nano
to add on,
filtration, so tell us. Yeah,
yes, just to add on, just one quick thing which I thought I must emphasis right
certainly.
now is when you now we talked about TDS, total dissolved solids in water. Most
Yes,
few people would try and figure out what is TDS. How do I know what is the TDS at my place? Which model, which product should I recommend in that case? So one is whenever you have supply water, the ballpark is you supply water, you have municipal supply water, you have a treated water at your home, or there is a TDS meter which is also available, wherein you can check the input TDS of your water, which is very common nowadays. People know the input TDS at their homes right now. The awareness has tremendously increased, right? Now we are in a process wherein every pin code we will map what is the TDS of that pin code. We are in the process of that. Going forward, we'll have that also. So it is very, very simple to understand what is the input TDS at your place, and based on that, the purifier can be recommended. Come to nano, zero water wastage, and it has a membrane, which is 3-in-1 kind of a membrane. We'll come to that. I think we have details of that also.
yes, yes,
We'll talk about it
yes,
that time. And then you have there are various levels of filtration. It has a sediment filter, we call it a essence filter, which takes care of your bigger particles, mud, bigger particles and stuff. Then you have your carbon, which is again all Cuckoo, extremely good quality, premium quality, and state of the art cutting edge filters. This is which takes care of bad odor in water. It takes care of any kind of smell and stuff. Then you have your nano filtration, which is your removes your heavy metals, which removes your bacteria, virus, which is a patented technology, and it does not waste any water. It is like a membrane. Then you have alkaline mineralizer filter, your natural filter, which balances the pH of water. So why it is important? When you use an RO basically reduces the pH of water. So if the input TDS pH is say X, right, and you pass it through RO membrane, the pH will come down, right? We have a membrane post that which balances the pH of water, which is best for your body. So, and on top of it, when the water it goes to the tank, so all your Cuckoo water purifier delight and night will have a sealed tank inside. Normally other water purifiers, the used body itself as a tank, right? This will have a sealed tank inside made up of a food grade, the best quality PP material, which is the water gets stored there, and a UV is placed there in the tank. So what happens is every 90 minutes the UV gets switched on, and it completely sterilizes the water. There are chances when you store the water can be can get contaminated. The bacteria
right.
virus can grow, but through UV it gets completely sterilized, and you get a completely 100% purified water out of it. Now there
Wow.
is one more technology that probably in the coming slide we'll talk about it, which is none of the other purifier has that.
Yes, I think Mr. Anurag, with this description that you gave about the product, it really would have uh, built the curiosity of all our distributors, and like it has built my curiosity so much to understand more about the product. And so straight away getting on to the filtration process, of Delight Alkaline Nano. So we say that it's filtration beyond standards, and so it's got some benefits over here, and like you said, it's apt for water with TDS up to 300 or 350 ppm, and and the water wastage, you really emphasized about water wastage. It reduces water wastage, makes it zero. And Anuragji, tell me one thing, we say here there's no power required, so just emphasize on this. How is it that it doesn't require power?
Yes, no. So what happens is when you put this nano filter, this does not require any kind of pump to process. For example, an RO membrane,
Right.
when you pass water through RO membrane, it requires a pump because it needs a pressure to pass through it. Now
Exactly.
this works on the input water pressure. This works on your tank pressure. The water which comes to the machine, it works on that. So for example, So when there is no power, of course, the UV will not work, but your normal nano filtered water can be stored in tank whenever, even if there is electricity cut. Without electricity also, because it works on the water pressure itself, from the tank water pressure.
That's a huge advantage, I think, and of course it saves on maintenance cost. We've talked about alkaline water and its benefits. We will talk a little more about it. And you did talk about the retention of minerals, but I think overall, if I were to see it, and also for the distributors who are very keenly and closely watching us and hearing us, I think zero wastage is one huge takeaway for me, I think, and I'm sure our distributors also would have understood that. Zero wastage, zero water wastage, and also the fact that it doesn't require power, and retention of minerals and alkalinity. तो ये slide में सारा sum up किया हुआ है. It's very nicely summed up. Moving ahead, Anurag ji, like you very a little while ago described the 5 stages of filtration. So if you can, once again just quickly take us through the 5 stages once again, and of course there's
Yes,
an illustration on the left. Yeah.
that's right. So first is your the first stage of purification is your sediment filter, which is inbuilt inside the machine. We call it an essence filter, which is your best quality filtration for any kind of impurities like rust, your deposits, your particles, sand, bigger particle, etc., etc. Then you have a carbon filter, which is, we call it an active filter, which absorbs all kind of bad odors. It absorbs color, organic substances, volatile organic compounds, free chlorine, chloroform, etc., and trimethane, and etc., etc. So this is basically for your bad odor and stuff, smell, bad odor and stuff. These are very, very good quality filters. Then you have, of course, the patented nano positive plus filter, which filters. So the porosity depends on actually the porosity of the filter also. So your, in these two filters, your microorganisms basically it get passed. So it passes these filters because of the small size. So with your nano filter, it filters your bacteria, your norovirus, heavy metals, viruses, everything. Your heavy metals, it gets filtered. So nano positive filter is basically for, after that, for complete purification. Then you have the alkaline mineralizer, which adds essential minerals to water. So of course, as you know, as you mentioned, when the low TDS, when you use an RO, it takes away the essential minerals of water, right?
Yes, yes.
So this basically adds your essential minerals, like good minerals like sodium, magnesium, calcium, potassium, which are required for body. So, and it
Yes.
balances the pH of water, making it mild alkaline. Then, of course, the fifth stage would be UV, which is your tank UV, which is when water gets stored in the tank, sealed tank inside. Then UV, very intelligent UV. We use LED UV there, which sterilizes your water. And
Okay.
then further, the last point is, which is kind of unheard of in the industry right now, is your in and out sterilization. And which is a patented technology by Cuckoo, and now it is available for all you people, which is your what happens is, when the water enters the machine and you take out the machine from the faucet, your faucet is exposed to flies, your faucet is exposed to microorganisms, dust, and stuff like that, right? All other particles, contaminants. Just by pressing a button, it does in and out. The technology is patented. There is a container with the machine, with a sensor. You put that container, put the switch on, auto sterilization. It completely sterilizes the pipeline from where the water enters till the faucet. So making the
Wow.
purifier completely the wonderful device.
Superb. I think the way you've described it, and may I remind everyone who's watching that this is a patented technology by Cuckoo, in and out sterilization. And Anuragji, you were talking about the nano positive plus filter process. Again, this is the Cuckoo technology. This is patented technology. So, uh, we've got a wonderful slide over here. If you can just take all our distributors through this, the 3
Yes,
stages, what actually happens inside, it will probably give them a
yes,
better idea.
yes, absolutely. So the three stage, as we mentioned earlier, three stage nano positive filter. First is, the stage one is nano filtration. which is your when your water enters the feed water, with water enters the machine, it is full of salts, dissolved organics, bacteria, microorganisms, to particles, salts, etc. Right? Then it passes through that. So what it does, it filters your entire heavy metals there, right? And then your this entire thing, it looks like this from inside the nanofilter. The media looks like this. It is positively charged, which attracts your negatively charged bacteria, virus, heavy metals, and stuff. So that is then, and then your it also has an active carbon part. So it's a mixture of that, the film that you see, which absorbs your chlorine and other VOCs from water. That is internationally, if you see, this is uh, they use only this purification. RO is hardly used because of the kind of water which is available, and so this filtration is absolutely wonderful. And where the TDS is less than 350, as we mentioned, this is an absolute solution for purification. And on top, and the best part is, it does not waste any water, so there is no water wastage
Yes.
with this.
Yes, I think that's a very important point, because considering what we've been talking since the beginning, that water wastage uh, is such a huge challenge, and unfortunately in our country also there's huge amount of water being wasted, and we find that so many other areas people not getting enough water to drink. So I think it becomes a moral and social responsibility for us to adopt ways and means which are zero wastage of water. So dear distributors, remember, not only is the technology patented, not only does it give you world class water without bacteria, viruses, heavy metals, but and without any smell, and with the minerals retained. uh, like Anuragji said, we talk about this in our nutrition sessions. So your calcium, your magnesium, these are minerals that are required for us, especially at 35-40 age, for ladies and for gentlemen. These are required, and mineral deficiencies will cause all kinds of other challenges in life. So, but now you don't have to worry because of this patented technology. We are giving you a world-class, beautiful product, and this very wonderfully sums up the Delight Alkaline Nano. Uh, Look at the benefits over here. I'll just, we've talked about it in detail, but I'll just to briefly summarize. You get mineral-rich alkaline water. There's zero water wastage. Big, plus point. It's the world's first faucet sterilization, which Anuragji talked about in detail. Faucet sterilization के बारे में उन्होंने बहुत सही से बताया आपको. And this is something which is patented by Cuckoo, and we are delighted to be offering it to you. UV LED sterilization, he did talk about. The UV has an LED sterilization here, and of course it's hassle-free service. Cuckoo is giving us a huge pin codes where servicing is available. Installation is flexi. Cleaning is very easy, and there's a water level indicator also. And the good thing is it doesn't require any power. So इतने सारे features, इतने सारे benefits हैं. I think it's a no-brainer. We don't even have to use our brains. This is something that we straight away we have to go to the e-store and click and buy. This product will give you 500 PV, so you must go for it. But before we talk about the next product, there's one question that came to my mind, and that's the reason why I put up this slide. That of course, Delight Alkaline Nano is good for areas with low TDS. But Anuragji, and also I think this question would be there in the mind of all our distributors. What about areas with high TDS water, like groundwater, borewell water? And before you can answer that question, let me very quickly summarize some of the disadvantages of borewell water or groundwater, because this is something that of course all of us know it, but then I think it's a good idea to summarize these. Their groundwater at times could have very high TDS. I mean, I've mentioned 800, 900 over here, but I think it even goes higher than that. And I think Anurag ji is smiling when I'm saying that he will certainly throw more light on the TDS levels, because he's an expert on this. And ye kyun hota? Why does it happen? Leaching of minerals into the groundwater makes it very acidic. So we talked about water pollution and leaching of minerals into the groundwater. And then when we drink this water, which is very acidic, not good for us. And of course, contamination of water by sewage, excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides. And what happens when we drink such water? There could be severe health issues like gastrointestinal disorders and cancer. Now, what's the solution over here? The solution here is, and especially in the context of borewell or groundwater with high TDS, the solution is an alkaline RO. That's the healthy solution. So, and for that, we've got presenting to you Night Alkaline RO. Phenomenal product, which has got huge benefits, some of which are summarized over here, but we'll straight away move on to the benefits so that Anuragji is here with us and he will talk in detail about those benefits. So Anuragji, let's straight away get on to the filtration process. And before we get onto that, like I just talked about high TDS water, thoda sa us pe bhi, throw light on high TDS water, groundwater, borewell water, and then please tell us about the alkaline filtration process.
Absolutely. So very well explained, Mr. Tanveer. So whenever two simple solution, whenever the TDS is 350 and below, use a Delight Alkaline Nano. Wherever the TDS is above 350, use an Alkaline RO, which is your Night. It looks similar looking product. Both of them will look same.
And yes, beautiful looking, may I add here. Beautiful looking.
Yes. Beautiful looking, very sleek, very slim, very upmarket, and probably made with the best quality ABS material, which is kind of not available in the market. Very, very premium product. And when it comes to alkaline RO as in technology, it will best water. It will actually, because you need to remove the TDS from water. So Night, wherever the TDS is high, wherever we have groundwater supply, wherever we have input water where the TDS is high, we'll have to recommend this, which is your Night Alkaline RO. So the best part is here again, it has the similar filtration process. Essence filter, of course, is the same. You have your carbon, which is your active filter, which takes away your smell, bad odor, VOCs, and odor and stuff like that. Then you have the new RO membrane, what Cuckoo use, Cuckoo RO membrane, which takes care of your, of course, heavy metals. It takes care of viruses, organic and ionic materials. It takes care of TDS. Dissolve. So basically it reduces the TDS. Then you have, so what happens when I mentioned, when the water passes through RO membrane, it reduces the pH of water. Water becomes acidic because all minerals it actually depletes. Then the water passes through your alkaline mineralizer, your natural filter, which again balances your pH level of water, and also it adds the essential minerals in water. So whatever the output water what you get after this is again an absolutely pure healthy water from your Night Healthifier. So this is basically again the UV filtration will be the same. In the tank UV we have LED UV, which when you store the water, there are chances of microbial contamination, right? The virus and bacteria can grow up there. So you have intelligent LED UV placed out there, which is in every 90 minutes it gets switched on, and it sterilizes the water. Very, very unique way to sterilize water. And of course the faucet sterilization again, which is put the container, put the auto sterilization, faucet sterilization on, and wait for, and then it does in and out and completely sanitizes your faucet, which is the faucet is exposed to microbial contaminants, is exposed to flies, exposed to other things, other contaminants. So it completely sterilizes your faucet. So you get absolutely pure and healthy water.
Wow. So I think, when you were explaining somewhere, I was just having a quick glance at the questions. So we'll come to the questions a little later. But so aptly and so precisely summarized about the stages. Some of them are, the first three stages are, two stages are common, and then we come to the RO, and then of course the mineralizer, and we talked about the UV LED at every 90 minute, in the intelligent UV LED. So huge benefits, and let's look at something which is really, really important for us. We talk
now this is This is Mr. Tanvir. Sorry to be
Yes,
interrupting.
yes,
This is kind of no again, which will keep your water purifier, water healthifier, which will make your water purifier stand out from the crowd. Where
exactly.
even in your RO, we are providing a solution which is your zero water wastage. So for the water which you are using it for your normal vegetable cleaning, normal utensils cleaning, normal household stuff, and you need a purified water. When you take water from your RO, you are basically increasing the wastewater. So here there is a solution where there is a kitchen care filter which is fitted inside the machine, your night RO, and there is a faucet outside which is placed. So what happens is whenever you want to use your normal, do your normal cleaning of vegetables and utensils and all, you can take purified water from there, and then without wasting any water. So that's the beauty of it. So this is a normal faucet which is provided along with the unit, and this is the kitchen care filter which is fitted along with every night MyHomePlus night alkaline RO.
Exactly. And so wonderfully summarized. So the fact is, dear distributors, if you've missed out, the one that I'm highlighting with my mouse cursor, this is the, which is given along with the product, and you've got to get it fitted. Faucet connection for utility. And utility water means that, what we use for daily utility, sterilized water you'll get for washing fruits, vegetables, and also for your daily care like washing, brushing, etc. So huge benefits, and additionally, we did. It's a good idea to re-emphasize the fact that it doesn't require any power. I think this in itself is a huge benefit. Saves a lot of electricity, and it's a multi-stage RO membrane.
It saves
And
life.
yeah, yes, saves water also. So these are such phenomenal benefits of both the products, and somewhere there was a question what the difference between the two, but I think we'll keep it at the end. Before we get on to the questions, uh, just to reiterate the benefits of night alkaline RO. Uh, Now, why would we use the Cuckoo RO filtration process? Because like Anuragji very detailed and such a nice manner he emphasized on the benefits. I'll just re-emphasize them over here. The mineral-rich alkaline water, and for TDS 500 and above, yes, Anuragji is saying 350. So, Anuragji, what do you suggest? 350 or 500? We're saying 500 over here. So,
Uh, Normally, to be on the safer side, we say 350, because
okay,
normally, no, what happens is when it goes beyond that, beyond 350, 400, 500, though you will get purified water with delight and all, which is absolutely which is required for body, but somewhere there could be people who may not like the taste because of the TDS, right? Because
okay,
it does not produce any TDS, right? Here, anything above 500 would definitely require an RO membrane because of the
certainly.
taste. Without, and you need to remove the TDS also of water. And this RO membrane will remove 90% of TDS. This will go up till 2000. So from 500 till 2000 TDS. This can be
Yeah,
used.
and Anuragji, very nice that you brought up this point. You're saying 2000 TDS, and when I was showing that slide on high TDS, I had only mentioned 800, 900 TDS. So
Yes.
is it something? Is it possible? 2000 TDS, 1500 TDS. I mean, is it a fact? Is it possible?
Yeah, it is. It is. To in some
Hmm.
places where new constructions and all that is coming up.
Okay.
For example, case in point, you say your Gujarat, a lot of areas in Gujarat. You say
Okay.
in Delhi NCR, when you come here, in a lot of places in Faridabad, they get very high TDS beyond 1500 also, till
Oh my
2000.
God.
So this RO membrane is effective on TDS from 500 till 2000. You can, without any problem, you can use this your night alkaline RO, which will reduce your 90% of your TDS.
Superb. I think we've got wonderful information, and in such a practical manner you've told us everything. Just to re-emphasize the benefits over here very quickly, a mild alkaline mineral rich drinking water without mixing UF water, and it's adaptable to low DDS water supply also. Uh,
Yes, one
in, yeah.
just one point quickly, since this mixing
Yes.
of water has come. Now, a
Yes.
lot of us have actually are now must have heard of TDS controller. So TDS
Yes.
controller, when you say TDS controller is nothing but you add water without RO passing through your RO membrane. So there is a valve, there is a valve in between. So half of your water passes through RO, you loosen your TDS level here, and the few drops of it passes through UF and goes mixing happens. Thereby your TDS
Okay.
gets adjusted. So which is basically your mixing of water, unpurified water. Wherever you are using an RO, you are mixing your unpurified water there. So we, as a policy, we don't give any kind of any mixed water, either an RO or a nano. There is no mixing at all. We will not provide any water which is not purified. And you can be rest assured, wherever the TDS is high, an RO, alkaline night RO should be used. Wherever the TDS is low, and delight nano purification should be used.
Superb. I think this is such a valid point, and when I was reading it, this question was coming to my mind, and so nice of you to really reiterate this point. There's no mixing of water, and it's such an important point. We talked about in-tank UV LED sterilization, which, just to remind everyone who probably skip their mind, every 90 minutes it intelligently, sterilizes the water. Intelligently sterilizes the water. We talked in detail about the built-in kitchen and dairy care filter for cleaning utensils, vegetables, and for brushing, etc. And of course, they patented in and out auto sterilization, which is we talked about. It's there in both the products, and this is along with a detachable faucet, which is very easy for cleaning. Anuragji did talk about the water tank also in detail. He explained to us the benefit of having a separate water tank with full utilization of storage, and that in itself is a huge benefit. So let's quickly look at, again, summarize. Yes, this again is a 500 BV product. So yes, gives you mineral rich alkaline water, UV LED sterilization, water level indicators there in both of the products. We talked in detail about the 7 stages of the RO filtration very easily. Anuragji, tell us, when we say about easy cleaning, uh, I mean, what is detachable and what can be cleaned? So little
So,
confusion is there.
so this machine has a faucet cleaning auto sterilization function. If you look at the unit, you see a container there. Uh, that will come along with the unit. If you look
This
at
one.
this, no, on top of it, along with the just below the faucet. Can you see a
Okay.
container there? So
Yes.
that will come along with the unit, which has a sensor. You put it there as it is showing there, and you put the auto sterilization button, faucet sterilization, and it will completely sterilize your in and out, as in it does in and out, and pipeline till faucet it will sterilize, right? And after sterilization, the water gets stored there, which you need to throw and again use your purifier normally. Here, when we say easy cleaning and stuff, so just below that white body can be easily you can actually, when this
Remove.
is kind of a DIY, do it yourself kind of a model. You can usually take it out. You can put your filters whenever you wish to. Very easy, very simple. By click, you can fit the filters. You can change the filter whenever you wish to. Not that we will, from the company side, we will provide service across 19,000 pin codes, 19,600 pin codes, be it installation, be it service, on site. We'll provide that. But in case the customer, they want to do it themselves, they can do it. They can easily order the filter, and they can change the filter themselves. This is very simple to change.
Excellent. I think that in itself is a huge plus as compared to anything else that's available in the market, because servicing, like you really emphasized, 19,500 plus pin codes that are being serviced, but it's a DIY kind of a setup, and like you explained, it's so easy to do it. It can be done on your own also. And Anuragji, before we come to the end of the session, I think there's one thing that a lot of our distributors, and even I had this in my mind when I was going through the presentation. So please highlight to us the certification and the reports that these products have, and
Yes. So
briefly talk about them.
both your Nano and Aronite and Delight is having global certifications. The best certifications like your NSF certifications, which is very, very prestigious, and various other lab certifications also. Plus, in India, we have also got it certified through FICCI, which is a NABL certified lab, and which is you can always access to these reports, and you can even show it to your customers.
Yes, thank you so much. So National Sanitation Foundation, which is internationally accepted, and of course NABL certified, the
And
FICCI.
of course, the patents. Of course, the patents also what in and out sterilization and nanofiltration.
Yes, yes, definitely. That is something that we should never forget, because the patent is something that is an added advantage, and that's the reason why at the end we should emphasize the fact that MyHomePlus filtration is a core that's made of solid 4. So whether we're talking about filtration which is beyond standards, the technology is beyond standards, the servicing is beyond standards, and hence the water quality is beyond standards. So we talk about zero water waste. It's very, very important in nanofiltration, and mineralization filter, adding minerals and balancing the pH. Uh, the filtration is tailor-made. It's not something which is generic. It's tailor-made for your need, or high TDS or low TDS. Uh, Most of it is DIY. Anuragji very clearly illustrated how it can be. A lot of these servicing aspects can be taken care of yourself. But then yes, we do have a wonderful servicing team also. Flexi installation with extra faucet. Energy saving, of course, there's no power required, so it's huge energy saving, hassle free, because of service with 15 checkpoints. Filter tubing. Anuragji, can you explain about filter tubing replacement?
This is basically your service, a part of service only. So when
Okay.
the service technician will come wherever it is required, they use a device to actually clean the filters. So this is
Okay,
kind of a service checkpoint that we are using for our service.
great. And of course, it's because of all what we've talked about. You get mineral-rich alkaline water, which is 99.99% free of bacteria, virus, and doesn't have any heavy metals, no chemicals, and no odor also. And of course, this conforms to BIS and WHO standards. So, dear distributors, I think this is something that is, you've got two fantastic, phenomenal products. And I must thank Mr. Anurag Mohan for joining us today and explaining to us in such detail, but in such an easy language to understand. I think anyone who's been listening to us would have understood what we've been talking about. Thank you for that. But before we, close the session, I think we'll take up a few questions. Some of the questions I was looking at, I'll just, okay. Just give me a second. Because some of the questions we've already taken up during the discussion, so it doesn't make sense to talk about it again. Okay, there's a question regarding that if the water contains too much iron, how long will this function properly? पानी में अगर iron बहुत ज़्यादा है, so if there's too much of iron in water.
Should I answer?
Yes, please.
So there are few pockets of country where the input water has high iron content. In that case, based on when the service technician will go and install the machine, there could be a possibility that we need to have a outer filter installed. As I mentioned, there is already a sediment filter inside the unit, so you don't require an outer filter outside. But if the iron content is very, very high, there are few pockets in India, especially in east, and few pockets there where the iron is very high, where we need to have a separate outer filter which takes care of it. So not to worry, and so which basically enhances the filter life. Anyways, the iron will get filtered in your RO membrane. But when you put that, it enhances the filter life.
Filter life, exactly. Thank you, Mr. Anurag. Uh, a very common question, I think a lot of distributors are asking this. So what's the basic difference between the two models? You talked about it in detail, but briefly, tell us nano or RO, which one to use and what's the difference? Very, very briefly.
Yes.
आपने डिटेल में
So,
बताया, but briefly.
J. So first is your wherever the TDS is less than 350, use a nano. More than 350 till 2000, we need to use an RO. One is that. Second is very simple. And nano is basically wherever you use an UV purifier, only UV based purifier, there a nano is a great replacement there, wherein it takes care of heavy metals, it takes care of bacteria, virus, everything. One is this. So this is enhanced probably the next uh, variant of your that one. So a nano is nothing but a membrane inside which does not waste any water, and it gives you a purified 100% purified water. So nano is basically very very simple, where the TDS is low, whether you come to know through the input water. If you have a municipal supply water, if you have treated water input, whenever that so you need a nano filtration, wherein for then you use a delight MyHomePlus delight water purifier wherever the TDS is high. And so there we need to use alkaline night MyHomePlus night water purifier, and both of them will give you a mild alkaline water which is best for your body. Both of them will be treated by UV LED. Both the machine will have your faucet sterilization, which is a patented technology, which is completely sterilizes your pipeline till your faucet just by pressing a button. So which is kind of unheard of, this technology. And and your RO will also have a kitchen care filter, which is for your normal household stuff. Your washing your vegetable, fruits, and all. You can use that kitchen care, use that faucet, and without wasting any water, you can get purified water. So these are the basic difference and where we need to use RO.
Thank you, Anuragji. Very, very wonderfully summarized. And I think there are a lot of questions on water wastage, and we've been re-emphasizing. We've emphasized quite a few times on zero water wastage. So even if now, uh, again to re-emphasize and reiterate this fact, while you were answering, I was just very quickly going through some of the questions, and I've made a note here. There are a lot of our distributors asking us about filter life. Generally speaking, for how long will the filter last, and when would it need to be replaced, both in terms of the nano filter and the RO filter? So
Yes.
can you
So
say, yeah?
very, very, very good pertinent question. So both the machine will have PMS, periodic maintenance service, from the company side from the date of installation. So that will be triggered in the system once the machine is installed. Second is your the filter life. When you say your nano and your RO filter will have 6,000 liters of filter life. So normal ballpark, if you see in normal household drinking purpose, then you can use it for a year. Post that, either the customer can have an AMC where all filters and electrical components will be covered in that. So this will have a 1 year extensive comprehensive warranty, and the filter life will have 6,000 liters of filter life.
Okay, thank you so much for that clarification. Uh, this is a question which I've seen quite a few of our distributors asking. So I've written it down. See, traditionally, when we talk about filters, we talk about capacity. How many liters will it purify in an hour or in a minute? So, so there was this question. A lot of our distributors asking this. So, what is the capacity of purification in per liters, or is it not relevant here, or how do you know?
No. This is good question. And this both the machines will have a 7.5 liters of sealed ABS material tank, which is not part of the body, a separate sealed tank, which is again not seen in most of the purifiers in the country right now. So, and plus 7.5 liters of tank, and this machine will have 10 liters per hour output, so without any mixing. So So normal your household drinking and all, the moment you you take the 1 glass of water, for example, or 1 liter of water, again the tank will get filled. So you will have a continuous supply of water.
10 liters per hour, Anuragji, is phenomenal, because considering that, in a day we may not be using more than 20 liters. Going by the very ballpark figure of 20 liters a day. So
Yeah.
if it's 10 liters per hour, it's like humongous. So it's like more than sufficient, I think. Okay. There is a very pertinent question here, that we did talk about the pH levels, and somewhere I think we missed talking in much detail about pH levels. Though I did talk about the pH level of blood, and that it's mild alkaline water. So can you throw a little more light on pH level? Though we are a little short of time, but very briefly you
Yes.
can tell us about pH level.
Very
And how
quickly.
much pH level will this water, the output water, be?
Yes. So so the best pH for the body is 7 points, between 7 to 8, even 9. But that's the best pH for the body, pH water for the body. Now, if you see, what happens is when you use an RO, it takes away the minerals of the water because it has to remove TDS, right? So it reduces the pH of water, making it acidic. So the pH, once the water passes through the RO membrane, the pH will come down to 6, 6.5. And then again, what it does, this machine will again pass through the alkaline mineralizer filter. After that, which basically balances the pH. So the output pH would be 7.5 to 8. That's the output pH that you will be getting from this machine. So you can safely say above 7 pH you will get.
Thank you, Mr. Anurag. Thank you so much. And I see a lot of other questions are there, but most of them are related to filter life, some of which we've answered, and which we've already answered in much detail just before this question. And zero water wastage, yes, it's there in both of the products. Again, about the filter tank, you did talk about the ABS tank of 7.5 liter capacity and a 10 liter per hour capacity. There is one question: what is the meaning of TDS? So I know it's a very long answer, but very briefly, if you can tell what is
Yes.
total dissolved solids, very briefly, because we are
So
short of
I've
time.
got this. This is the TDS meter, which is available also. This is basically TDS is total dissolved solids in water. So you put this, take it out. It is very simple, available in the market. You put this in the water, it'll give you the TDS level of water. It'll show you. So TDS basically very simple to understand also and to measure also. So TDS is nothing but total dissolved solids in water.
Total dissolved solids, and like Anuragji showed, this is a device very easily available in the market, and you can check yourself also the TDS, your municipal supply, what is the TDS, and basis that you can decide whether you have to go for a nano or a RO. Rajesh ji is saying that the TDS is 2500 3000 ppm. Will the product work? 2500
So
3000 ppm, that's huge.
yeah, so maybe a few places you may get that kind of input TDS. So there, of course, the RO membrane will work. Of course, it will reduce 90% of the TDS. But what happens is the life of RO membrane, it no, because of the high input TDS. Yes. So when it comes to warranty, probably it won't be applicable there if it is on the membrane because of the high TDS input. So very rarely we'll
Exactly.
get 2500 to 3000. Of course, the machine will work there. There is no question it won't work. It will work. But your filter life will depend on that. Your RO membrane life, basically.
Thank you so much, Anuragji. There are some questions on the pricing of the product. May I remind everyone that both are 500 BV products, and pricing details you can get on the e-store. The product is available on the e-store as we speak today. And a lot of the other questions are similar to the ones that have been asked previously, and I hope you've got your answers. And also to remind everybody, there was a few questions saying that we joined late and we missed out the initial part. No worries. The complete presentation recording will be available to you on your registered email IDs through which you've joined this webinar, and you can watch it at leisure again, and get the complete information, or re-emphasize or reiterate the aspects that you probably missed out earlier. So with that, we come to the end of this session. Mr. Anurag Mohan, yes.
Just to sign off,
Yes.
I just noticed, so I thought I must mention that. You were holding a glass of water, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, if you can please show it. So it looks so simple. And when you drink it, it becomes part of your body. Very powerful. So we must use it judiciously, of course. We should not waste it. It is very, very powerful. It is like life to all of us. So probably now you have a solution which is for low TDS, for high TDS, where without wasting your water, you can use, you can purify your water with the world's best technology. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Anuragji. It's always a pleasure to talk with you during webinars and even otherwise. And the way you explain things in such a simple manner, I think all our distributors, there are a lot of comments coming in saying that wonderful session. Thank you so much, distributors. It's a pleasure to be of service to you. And today is an additional pleasure and delight for both of us here, because this partnership is taken the next step, gone to the next level, and today you've got a solution for both the low TDS and the high TDS. So go for them. Two beautiful products, 500 BV each, and of course we will be having more webinars on the product. There's a new product launch. We'll be having a lot of webinars, the repeated webinars on this, because many of you would have missed out on this today's webinar. And please go for them today. And once again, thank you to all distributors for joining us, and special thanks to Mr. Anurag Mohan
Thank you so much
to join us. And
it's been a real privilege, and we at Cuckoo really value this relationship, and we hope that this product will really make a difference in all of your life and plus our consumers' life. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Anuragji. Thank you so much, and thank you to all distributors also. And wishing you all the best, and good night. Take care, and see you the next time. Bye bye.